The story of Vance Bolter, the gunman who allegedly murdered 4 people in Minnesota over the weekend, including State Representative Melissa Hortman, has just taken a new and bizarre twist. Their poor families. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. In case you missed it over the weekend, a Trump supporter and sometime preacher named Vance Bolter allegedly began a shooting rampage. Bolter has been arrested for the murder of State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette, as well as Representative Hortman and her husband Mark. Video footage shows Bolter dressed as a police officer to approach his victims. Further evidence uncovered in his vehicle included a kill list of Democratic politicians, both on the state and federal levels. Here's a full recap.
The so-called face of evil.
Bolter stalked his victims like prey.
Started here, Champlin, and the home of John and Yvette Hoffman.
644, code 3 Champlin. Stand by on a GSW AL TAC 1, please.
Belter shot the Hoffman sometime around 2 a.m. Saturday. From there, Belter traveled to Maple Grove and New Hope. Around 3:30 a.m., Brooklyn Park Police went to conduct a welfare check on Melissa and Mark Hortman's home.
7044, code 3, Brooklyn Park, on a shooting to the area, Windsor Terrace North.
Belter fled, starting the search for the alleged killer.
Suspects posing as police officers shot 2 victims.
Nearby, police found the fake mask he was wearing, multiple guns, and a list with the names of other lawmakers. Police then located Belter's wife. Around 6:15 Saturday morning, he texted her saying, quote, "Dad went to war last night." Cell phone location data from multiple phones associated with Belter led them to this home in North Minneapolis, finding ammunition and a handwritten list of names with similar public officials. One of the people at that home said Belter texted them this.
"I love you guys, and I'm sorry for all the trouble this has caused."
At 7 a.m. Saturday, Belter met a stranger at a bus stop, buying his e-bike and eventually his Buick. Belter then drove with the owner of the car to a bank in Robbinsdale, where these pictures were taken. Around 2:30 Sunday morning, someone said they may have seen someone riding an e-bike near the Belter home in Green Isle. Police were unable to find him. They found that Buick abandoned on Highway 25, roughly 5 miles from the Belter home. Police spent much of Sunday searching that Buick in the surrounding area, even going door-to-door to search nearby homes, using a helicopter and infrared technology. He was spotted on a trail cam, and then a neighbor saw Belter walking through the grass roughly a mile from his home and reported it to police.
And as I was coming down the driveway, I said, "Dad, there's somebody in the front yard."
Belter was arrested just after 9 p.m. Sunday, ending the largest manhunt the state of Minnesota has ever seen.
And now it gets even stranger. Stay with me. It goes without saying that the families of the Hoffmans and the Hortmans are both in shock and mourning at the moment. Friends and relatives of Bolter have also denounced and lamented his actions, claiming that he was a Trump supporter struggling with his mental health. Big shock there, right? As Washington politicians continue to debate the need for more security for lawmakers at the federal level, and as state lawmakers nationwide lament that most states cannot afford more security for their lawmakers, the case has taken yet another turn. This morning, police in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota report that last night, someone broke into the home of Melissa Hortman looking for something. Local station WCCO has more.
I am heartsick to report to everyone that this home, the home of Representative Melissa Hortman, Speaker Emerita, and her beloved husband Mark, was broken into last night. We're panning over there. You see some of the plywood there over the windows in the garage. Well, in the back of the home, there is also plywood there. And one of the plywood window covers was pried off last night, sometime after 9 o'clock, and a person did enter and search this home. Police are here on the scene. If you can see right there, we've got Brooklyn Park Police. We have the State Patrol. I'll also let you know, photographer Jose can get this shot. There is a State Patrol and Brooklyn Park Police camera right there that was set up by the police in the aftermath of these horrific murders. A bit of the timeline here. The murders happened early Saturday morning. On Saturday and Sunday, the crime scene was processed. The home was actually, the family came here yesterday to take out personal items, and they took things out of the home. They were called this morning after the burglary. The family was here. They did go through the home, and Brooklyn Park Police are reporting that as far as they know, Nothing was taken. This is from the Hortman family to the Brooklyn Park Police. The Hortman family, again, was here this morning going through the home with police to see if they could recognize if anything was taken, and they did not see that anything was taken. All the evidence, the Brooklyn Park Police says, in regards to the homicide has long been out of this home and has been cleared. Needless to say, this neighborhood is heartsick. I have talked to a number of neighbors who are just horrified that this has happened. They just cannot believe, first of all, that Melissa Hortman and Mark Hortman are gone, and also that this happened as well.
So, to reiterate, it appears that the person who entered the Hortman home was a burglar, though it's not clear at this time if anything was actually taken. It's sad and infuriating given that the family of Representative Hortman, especially her children, are already devastated and made miserable by this heinous attack. And you know what the worst part is? Cue the conspiracy theories. No doubt right-wing lunatics will claim that Bolter shot Hortman because she ran a satanic pizza restaurant that served up babies or something, which is both an insult to Hortman's memory and to her family, not to mention common sense. This was a good woman who loved her state and her country, and internet lunatics, the same kind as Bolter, will go out of their way to tar her memory. It's just as opportunistic as any burglary in this case. And it just furthers the mental illness that continues to drive right-wingers to violence. It's a self-perpetuating affliction. And the sad part is, Republicans in Washington who know better will still go out of their way to prevent any kind of common-sense gun control or establishing some kind of no out-of-pocket mental health services to prevent this kind of violence. And they will continue to spread misinformation if it suits them. This is Donald Trump's America, one that assassinates good people both in reputation and in body, one where mental illness continues to spread, and where the people tasked with protecting our citizens block reform to profit from chaos and misinformation. My heart goes out to Melissa and Mark Hortman and their families, and to the families of John and Yvette Hoffman, the latest victims of this disease and of political inaction. This is Occupy Democrats.